Let me take you on a tour of what we got going on the farm today and the new shelters we have built. Now the inner space is 9 feet long. These panels are 10. And this is a sheet of 1/2-inch plywood, so 8 feet by 4 feet. These ones are made sturdier than the old ones. They are noticeably heavier, and we don't yet have decent handholds, so they're just a brute to move. But I think once we have decent handholds, it's going to be a little more doable. So you can see here that we've got these blocks. So these are the cutoffs from the 2x4s inside. And we put them here for extra support, just so that we could secure all this quite well. We've got this door, and it hooks there to stay open if we want to keep them contained, but still let them have more air. You can also open the whole door, and it has a hook there to latch. Now I will say this, we didn't really do this, when you're spacing your doors, make sure they're over far enough that the corner can fit under the roof if you're going to have an overhang. And then in here, you can see we've got the 2x4s. The old ones we had 2x3s and 2x4s on the bottom. This is 2x4 all the way around. And then we've got a 2x2 at the top of the divider, a 2x3 across the bottom. And that's just to divide it into 2 individual purebred breeding pens. I know I have a gap where there's no hardware cloth at the top, but these are going to be ducks. They're not going to be squeezing through that. So that's the inside of it and how it's put together. You can see even if all the doors are closed, there is air, like they're never going to suffer for oxygen. But it's nice that we have the easy option to open and close that inner door to let air out or keep things warm. Because I use these huts for brooding as well. So when I'm brooding and it's cold out, I'll keep these closed. And yeah, I can get through a whole life cycle of the birds with this style of structure. Now because I divided it in half, we put an eye screw there on both sides to attach the fencing to keep the fencing nice and tight. So we've got 2 breeding pens here, one there, one there. This is what we did today over here. So this hut was over here, and we moved it over. It was a brute to move, but we got it done. Same thing, same style. This is also 2 breeding pens. It does not have the divider in it on the inside yet, but we are so muddy here that every footstep goes skish, 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 and it's done that for months. So I'm going to wait till it freezes and I'm not going to get all mud covered to put that divider in the center. So for now, I am officially winter ready. Over here, these are the old structures. Yeah, I think this one's a 10-foot long. The other one is 12 foot long. Just 1 pen each because I have some larger breeding groups. Handy walkway between the 2. And these ducks could not be happier. It's a very windy day, so they can get a lot of air if they they jump up and start flapping. And all the snow melt and rain really filled up their puddle. I did not catch their morning antics, but it was really funny. They were up here, they jumped, they caught wind, they flew all the way down, and they skied across the surface of the water to the end of the puddle there. And then they were so happy they just had a major splash party. Every bird was splashing water everywhere. Let's see, we've got that structure all strengthened with new 1/2-inch plywood on it. The 1/4-inch just disintegrated. Don't build with 1/4-inch. It's just no good. Stick with 1/2-inch. So it's got 1/4-inch, 2x4, and then 1/2-inch, which leaves a nice pocket of air for insulation. We've got that one there, which is the 12-foot. You can see the wood there that covers the windows on these. We were lacking the proper head on the drill bit, or the screwdriver bit. The proper bit head, I guess, to put the hinges on. So we're going to do the inner parts like we did over there with hinges and hooks so that we can open and close those if we want or need. Over here we have our new fabric shelter. It has been essentially a nightmare start to finish. The back panel, which you can't see with the zippers, it's being remade. It was not made properly. It does not work. They don't zip. The top cover that you just see the edge that goes all the way over side to side, that is being remade. It had tons of little holes in it. It's supposed to have a 15-year warranty. That would not last. It's going to let rain in. But we have it up in the meantime. We are looking for a source of hay and straw for the winter. I have learned almost all of it got sold before it was off the field, so now I know for next year to order it when I see them starting to harvest the wheat. So I'm looking for a source and we will fill that. I've got the food. I used to have the food way down there, which is a pain in the butt. Now I've got all their food up in here, and we'll fill it with hay and straw, and then I'll have everything kind of centrally located. The chickens, we had to take their fence, so they are now free-range chickens. Honestly, they haven't really come out of their house this week. They just don't like the weather. I got them out a little bit today by throwing their food down, but they promptly went back in. They're kind of wimpy with this weather, unlike those guys. The goats are all settled. You saw the new feeder set up. That one Angora, she still just doesn't know how to use that feeder setup. Every night she looks at us and she's like, "Where's my food? How do I eat this? What is it?" She'll catch on. She will. And yeah, we are winter ready. We have enough water dishes like those for the winter for all the breeding pens. We have enough food dishes for all the breeding pens. All these breeding pens will not be in use until late winter, early spring, when we'll separate out the ducks and geese into pure breeds, because they need to be separate for at least a month. These guys, they can hold on to sperm for that long and keep using it to fertilize eggs. So they've got to be separated for at least a month before you know that you're going to have purebred genetics in those eggs that are coming out. So yeah, we're all ready. The kittens, despite the warm weather, it's 8 degrees out today, they are staying in that shelter. Let's see if I can move around to see it. You can see we've got some pallets in front of the goat house. The ducks have been going over there the last few days and turning it into a mud wallow. Those pallets are to discourage the ducks and give us something a little more firm to walk on. Another thing, our perimeter fence has been off for a couple days because the mice have chewed through the wire that connected the ground rod to the charging station. I hope they got a shock, but we will have to fix that soon and get that hot again. We are almost done. The hay that came off our field last year, what's under that tarp is all that's left. We've got 3 and a bit of round bales left. So yeah, I gotta get a move on getting new bales. I don't want to do round again. It's a pain in the butt if you do not have a tractor with bale forks and shelter. Like under the tarp, it just got all moldy and stuff. So we're gonna use this shelter. It should keep hay a lot better. The whole inside of that shelter is pallets to get hay up off the floor so they don't get wet. And yeah, the goats were out in the field grazing on all this grass that was uncovered after everything melted, but I guess they've gone in for a little rest. Maybe they needed a drink. But I know they like to do several loops of the field throughout the day. They'll come out and graze their way around the field and go back in and repeat. Oh, there's a bird way over on the muck heap. Everybody else is over here. Anyways, I think that's it for today. It's a beautiful day out, aside from the wind. I hope you could hear me. I hope it wasn't too windy. I really have to get one of those fuzzy things for a microphone. What are they called? Dead cats or something? But yeah, away I go. Have a good day.